Hi everybody, welcome to Ecstasy Crafts. I'm excited to show you how to optimize your card making with these beautiful card packs from 3Quarter Designs. In each pack, oh, the lighting's really bad here. Hang on, let me pull this out of the packaging and we can look at it without the cellophane on it. So each package contains 6 pre-cut and scored 6x4 cards. There's 3 landscape and 3 portrait sizes. You get 16 5x8 by 3x8.8. Sorry, say that again. 16 5.8 by 3.8 inch double-sided papers or ephemera items words and 2 A5 die-cut pages. So within that one pack, you can make a minimum of 6 cards. If you want to make your own bases, there's lots more that you can do. So what I opted to do for this one is take this and make the 6 cards with it. And so that's what I've done. I've done a variety. They're pretty straightforward. There's one that's a little bit more complicated, but I just wanted to show you how versatile these packs are and encourage you. They're great for having on hand for making last minute cards, or if you just want to keep a stash. It's so fun just to create with these and have your little stash of, in this case, birthday cards on hand for whenever you need any. All right, so we are going to start with, I'm going to start with the elephant card, and then we're going to do the Yorkie, and then we're going to do the alligator crocodile. I think it might be a crocodile. He's got a round nose. And then we're going to do the birthday banner card, and then we're going to do a feminine floral card. And then last, we're going to do this really fun easel card, the teddy bear card. So, without further ado, that's the first card we're working with. And so you want to go through and find, because you are using only a background. Oh, wait a minute, sorry. I had everything in order, but now I've lost my order. All right, so you're going to look for this background paper. This particular one has the little monkey on the one side, but that's the paper we're going to use for this. You're going to need your Matte-tastic, the blue one, and that's it for this one. I'm going to show you a slight variation. So what you want to do to create this card, first we need to size this down because it's a little bit too big for the base. And this particular one we are using, let's see here, I've got 3, we're taking the landscape card, but we're going to use it in portrait form, so it's going to be vertical this way. So we need to cut this down so it fits here, and what we're going to do is cut this to 3 5/8. So right there, I'm going to take that off there, and by 5 3/4. So we're just taking a little bit off, ever so slightly, and that is just going to allow me to put the blue matting behind this piece here. So this piece, I think I've already cut this one down 3 3/4 by 5 7/8. So I've already got this one cut to size. I don't need that anymore. Now, I'll get out my glue. So I'm just going to put my glue on the back of my patterned piece. I'm going to mount that onto here. Just like that. And we're going to take this and we're going to mount it onto there. If you want, you can foam tab it up and raise it up. All right, so there I have my card base all ready to go. And then we're gonna look for these in our sheets of die cuts. So there's our elephant right there. We're gonna pop him out. Sometimes you end up with where you've popped them out. Now you can use a little emery board, a little sander board. Sometimes it's hard to get into these little nooks. Sometimes I will just use my nail. And you can, because you can't always get at them with scissors or the sander. There we go. So he's all cleaned up now. Now I need my balloons. So I chose these ones. Same thing. Pop them out. Get rid of any of the little nubs that come with it. There's my balloons. And now I need to find my sentiment. So on this sheet, you've always got a bunch of sentiments here and some extras. You can even utilize these on the face of your card or just to decorate the inside. Right now what I want to find is the little elephant one that says it's your birthday. So it's right here. So I usually, when I'm doing this, trim these right up. Cut them all at the same time. And one more. Sometimes it's really hard to see the lines, especially when you're cutting apart your main pieces. It's hard to see them. All right, one more cut and then this guy's ready. I'm gonna trim it up a little bit more. I've got some of the one from below on it. So I'm just gonna trim that up a little bit. Just like that. Now, for this one, I didn't put a background on it, but I thought, you know, just to show you guys how you can shake it up a little bit, I cut a little piece. It's a generous 1 inch by 3 inches. That's what this piece is. I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to get my foam tabs, and we're going to put everything together. All right, now and I can see when you turn these over, I'm going to see if I can get you to see that on the camera. See right there? That's another pop out. It's really hard to see on this side. Now I'm going to put all the foam tabs on here. And when I made this one, I wanted it to look like the elephant was holding the balloons in his trunk. That was what I envisioned. I like these hunky-dory foam tabs because they're very flexible. And when you're using the long ones, you can just maneuver them. I know it doesn't look nice and tidy on the back, but it doesn't need to be. So I'm going to start making sure I've got my card facing the appropriate way. There's nothing worse than putting the front on your card and discovering that you have it upside down or backwards, especially with something so neutral as this. I'm going to just put our little elephant guy right here. Get the balloons. And then, like I said, I wanted it to look like he was holding it in his trunk. Didn't want it underneath though, like that. That on there nice and straight. So just to see the difference, this one with the blue around the sentiment, this one without. You can add more. There's lots and lots of different things, but because I'm trying to make as many cards as I can, I'm going to restrict how many things I put on. I am going to, though, I've got some little black rhinestones. I'll toss these on the sentiment. You can put them around the corners of the card if you wanted to. You can add a bow to it. And there you've got a birthday card done in how long? 15 minutes from start to finish with my intro in there too. So there's one. Next card up is the cute little Yorkie card. So that's what we're doing next. So for this one, we're gonna do a landscape card base. So it's gonna open like this. We're gonna put a pink background behind this. So we need to cut this down a little bit so it fits. So what we want to do is cut the actual card face, this part. We're going to cut that to 5 3/4 and 3 5/8. Now, when you're cutting these, because we are going to take just a smidgen off, but sometimes if you're cutting, when you're cutting these patterns, you want to make sure that you're not cutting the part of the image that you want to keep. So be selective. 5 3/4. I'm just shaving a little bit off this, little tiny amount, about 1/8 of an inch, if that. And then for, oh wait a minute, I forgot to 3 5/8. So I don't want to lose my little Yorkie, so I'm going to take it off this side. And what did I say? 3 5/8. So there's 4/8 and there's 5/8. 3 5/8. Get that lined up. And take another piece off. Pretty sure I cut all my backgrounds. Yep. So that is 3 3/4 by 5 7/8. All right. So I just sized that. I like to use 1/8 of an inch for my border trims on my cards. I just think it's a nice size. Glue this on. If you like to use double-sided tape, you can do that too. Doesn't really matter. It's whatever your preference is. There we go. You can just see a little piece where it didn't quite cut cleanly there. There, it's gone. Now I actually think for this one, I think I'm going to pop it up. I think I'm going to foam tab it up just to be a little different from the original card. As you can see, these are foam tab, but not this. So, but I'm going to foam tab this up. So let's do that. Little piece in the center just for some stability. Sorry, I just hit the camera there. Having some issues. There we go. All right. And then I thought this little Yorkie, my friend has a little Yorkie, and that dog is a party animal. So I'm going to and we have our Let's Party. Foam tab that up, and these. You know, sometimes people ask me too, how much foam tabs should I use? That's a personal preference. I like to make sure I put that one at least in the center so that when I'm adding things on top of it, it can take the pressure of me putting them in place. If I can get them straight. There we go. That. And we're going to make a little bow. I don't know who has a bow maker. I used to always struggle, and then I learned how to make it. So I'm doing a double bow. So I always like to put the cut end in my left hand and leave the rest on the roll so I'm not wasting ribbon. And figure out approximately, do I want long tails or short tails? And cross, oh, wait a minute, I lost it. Hold on. Let's try that again. Wrap it around twice, left over right, under, back over, and then you tie a knot. And then you trim it, and you pop it off. We put stickies on the bottom of this because it actually holds it in place. I'll trim it when I'm done. And then I like to use double-sided tape on mine. I know Emily, my coworker, she likes to use sticky specs. I just take a little tiny piece like this, and on the back side, and you can manipulate the tails a little bit so they sit the way you want them. And then put your double-sided tape on. Pop it off. I want to put it there. I'm actually thinking I'll just put it here. Same as the original card I made. And then you can fluff it out a little bit, like that. And then I'll trim my tails. And there you go. There's another one. Oh, my sentiment is really crooked. Can I get it back up? Nope, it's down. It's hard to see on the camera. And then you know what I might do for this one? I think I'm going to put some pink gems just in the upper corners, bigger ones. Then you could take some dimensional product, crystal accents, and highlight all those light areas. The balloons, it's really nice to use it in the balloons. It highlights the shiny parts of the balloon. Make his eyes and his nose shiny. Now you can't really see that. You'll see it later. Just dresses it up a little bit more. So there's card number 2. Card number 3 is the crocodile card. All right. So for this one, we're using a tent fold, and we're using it in a portrait like this. Now what I've done to this one is I have rounded all the corners of the card, all 4 corners of the base. That. Now, lost my ruler. So we want this to be 5 7/8 by 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut off from this side, not this side, this 3 3/4. And what did I say? 5 7/8, which is the length of the card itself. So there's only, you just trimmed a little bit off the width, and that was it. Now I'm going to round these corners to coordinate with the card base. There we go. The fun thing about the 3/4 designs is you're letting the paper speak for itself. It's beautiful, fun, and don't be afraid to play around with it. So for this particular card, I used both from the one sheet. I used the single balloon, but you know what? We could, I'm just looking here, how could I shake this up? I could put a sticker in and Now I'm going to stick with the balloon. I quite like the balloon. Oh. Causing me some trouble coming out of there. So you can see some of the backing paper came off, but that's okay. Just trim it up a little bit. Just getting rid of the rough edges. I didn't bring my sanding block in with me. This would have been a good one for my little sanding block. There we go. There's that. Get rid of the nubs. And we've got that. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I want to add to it. I'm going to stay on target so that I can get all the cards done. So now I foam tab these up. I need my Make-A-Wish. Now I also decided I was going to add a backing onto this one as well, but what I want to do is round the corners on my sentiment so it ties in with my card. So everything is rounded, but I thought it kind of got lost in this one, so I cut a blue background. A generous 1 inch wide by 3 inches in length. And that gives me a nice background there. I'm going to glue that in. And then we're going to foam tab all this up. You could add little pieces of thread to make it look like you've got real thread coming down here too. Lots of fun ideas. And move this down here so I get it on straight this time. There we go. So that is, what is that? That's 3 cards. All right, next card is the Happy Birthday banner card. All right, so what you're gonna do is find the background paper that has the stripes that go vertically when you have the paper in a landscape. Does that make sense? Almost sounds contradictory, but it is not. And then we are using a landscape card. So this way is your blank. We're going to downsize this. Well, maybe not. No, that'll fit perfectly. So we're just going to glue that on there. If you want to layer it, you can layer it. But again, the idea is to show you how quick and easy you can make cards and how each and every one looks different from one pack. You don't have to have the extra papers. There we go. I'm going to start with my banner up here. Actually, yep. So my happy birthday banner. It's in the middle, it's hard to get it started. It is one piece. There we go. Just a couple little trims here. And a little bit right there. A little bit on this end. All right. Now, it is hard working with little teeny tiny things like this. So, can you see? I did not, oh, hang on, let's get rid of that. I want to use this as a pointer. There is nothing back in behind here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little gems on here because I wanted them to look like thumbtacks. So I'm going to put those on first because I'm not going to have anything under there. By all means, if you want to take the time to cut the little tiny pieces of foam to do that, you go for it. Run a piece put up here so maybe you can see better. Across here. Like that. I'll put a smaller piece on. For some added stability there. All right. So you're going to center that, put it really close to the top, but not all the way. Make sure my card's the right way. And then put that down into place. And then have fun. Decorate it up however you want. And what I did, I took this cute little cake. What I usually do is layer everything in first with without adhering it, because some of them I'll double foam tab. You know, I think I might even add, maybe, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'll let that dog sit there and we'll see if that's what I want to do or not. That is a really nice colorful bunch of balloons. No, I don't think so. I'll stick to my first plan. I need a lollipop. All right. So this one I've double foam tabbed up. But I got to be careful because I want to put it over top of these. So I need to watch how much I'm foam tabbing it. They're all foam tabbed, but how much? So this is going to be a single, and so is the cake. Cake is a single as well. This and like this. And the balloons are a single. Put one down here. And then I'm going to put the presents on last. Pull these all off. And then I'll see where I need to add the foam tabs to the presents. All right. That and that. And utilize being able to tuck things in. Put that up there. And then you can lay this on. And you know, I don't even think I need to double foam tab that. I think if I put one piece of foam tab here and back in this corner, it's going to sit perfectly over top of those. So one here and one there. And yes, I'll go back again because that's how my memory works. So right in this corner, and then it was kitty corner, so up here, right here. So just like that. Again, there's so many things you can do. You can crystal accents, add more, but quick, simple, easy card. Card number 4. All right, now we are doing the feminine floral here. So this one is a tent card, but I did it in a landscape form. So this way, we're going to look for this one here. Don't even need to trim it down. We're just going to glue this on. Just like that. Find my floral bouquet. There's a few of them on here. You can use whichever one you want. Trim up any little bits that come off. All right, so there, and then we want best wishes right here, and this gorgeous pink gift for up there. Now, so I want to make sure I don't put any foam tabs in this area because I have it overlapping the best wishes. So I'm going to stay away from that. Like that. My best wishes. I'm going to trade these out here. Alright, now we usually do our sentiments last, but this is more the focal point of this one. Put that on. Just like that. Add a couple of gems. Put one in the middle of that flower there too. And a little pink bow. Thought I grabbed the same color ribbon, but I did not. This is paler. It's still pink, but it's paler. So again, that was, sorry, I did that too fast. 1, 2, left over right, under to the back, up and over, and then tie a knot. A bit of double-sided tape. Manipulate your tails. Put your tape on. I cut that piece a little bit big. That's all right. And there you go. There's card number 5. And last but not least, we are going to do this cute little teddy bear card. All right, this one is more detailed. I did one detailed card. So what you are going to need is, so this one is an easel card. So when you lay it flat, that's what it looks like. You fold it up, and then you have a 3-dimensional card, more dimensional than a regular card. So your last card base is again a tent card, just like this. And you know, I think oh wait a minute. There's a scoreboard. I forgot my scoreboard, but there's one in here. All right, so you also need the teddy bear paper and the balloon paper and a piece of the blue cardstock. All right, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your card base, okay, tent style, pick this side, pick the top, the front, and then what we need to do is score it horizontally across there at the halfway point, which is 3 inches. All right. 3 inches. Fold it into the inside of the card so that when it stands up, it looks like that. All right. So we have that. Now, we want to cut this. Actually, let's start with this. Sorry, we're going to start with the balloon paper. All right, and we need to size this. Okay, so the size of the balloon paper, we need 2 pieces that are going to be 3 3/4 by 2 7/8. All right, so 3 3/4, which is essentially the width. So it's the width of the paper. You don't even have to cut it, but we do need to cut it this way, and we want to cut it into 2 7/8, 2 pieces that are 2 7/8. Keep in mind, you want to make sure when you're gluing these on that your balloons are going in the same direction. 2 7/8. So you're just cutting a little tiny bit off that second piece. Now, we're going to glue these on. Here and here. So my balloons are going up moved it too far. Oh, it's stuck now. It's a little bit crooked. Put my second piece on. All right, now I have my base made, ready to go. Now we're going to work on this part. So now get your teddy bear piece, and what we need to do is we need to cut this 2 3/4 by 3 5/8. Three and 4 5/8. So I don't want to cut off the bottom of the bear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit. Actually, I'm not going to make this cut first because we're going to use the other half of this. So I'm thinking this through a little bit because I need the other piece to be bigger. So cut this, cut the 2 and, where are my measurements here? 2 3/4. So right here, so cut that first, and then we will use this in just a moment. Now I'm going to trim this down to the 3 5/8. So I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom here, not much, just a little bit. And I'm going to flip that around, 3 5/8. So right there, take a little bit off the top. So now I have that ready to go. And then out of the leftover piece, we want it 3 3/4 by 2 7/8. So 2 7/8 and 3 3/4. Like that. So you want that to be a little bit bigger than this one because that is going to mat this. And then this one, I've already cut it to fit, and that measurement is 3 by 3 7/8. Now what we need to do is round all our corners. It just gives it a little bit of a different look, changes it up a little bit. All 3 layers are getting rounded corners. Just like that. Now, you can see I matted the 2 together and then I foam tabbed it onto the blue. So these 2 I'm going to just glue together. Like that. Then I'm going to foam tab that onto there. In the middle. Center that up on the blue. like that. And then we want to center this into here. So what I usually do is find the center point of this, put a little pencil mark on it. So this is just shy of 4 inches. I'm just looking for a pencil here. There we go. So it's going to be right here. Now, for the next where you want to put your glue, because we're going to glue this down, you do not want any glue on there. All right, so I'm going to come across here, just like this. Add my glue. I like to fold it up and then I can't mess it up. I usually try and line it up on the back. And then make sure I've got it center while I still have some wiggle room to move it. There we go. And then the last thing, we're going to add our wahoo and our balloons. Trimming that up. Now I do want to foam tab this so that it will hold the card up. Maybe it's not cooperating with me. There we go. All right. Where this goes is totally up to you. How far do you want your card to stand up? I like to do it so you still have room to write here. And you can put a sentiment, more stuff inside there, but I like to make it so that you can put a signature or whatever you want right there. And last but not least, some more balloons floating off the top. I'm going to use some little ones here. Just like that. And there you go. 6 cards from one pack in just, where am I at for time? I am right around an hour. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll show off the cards one more time here. There and there. It's a fun paper pack. They have some gorgeous patterns, and there's always the card pack to go with it. So you have everything you need. It's a great way to add to your craft stash for those last minute quick cards in case you're looking for something different. I hope everybody enjoyed today's class, and I look forward to seeing you next month for the Paper Rose class, the flower shop. Everybody take care.